in the interim, I'm going to go over to my next guest. I know Michael has been waiting patiently to jump on here, and I see he's raised his hand. So I want to first of all welcome Michael to the Rehab Power Hour. So welcome, Michael. Can you guys hear me okay?
Thank you. He has aphasia. I'm his wife, and I'm
okay.
And he has aphasia. Sure. He can't speak to you, but
that's okay.
You pretty much answered the main question he had already, because we've been doing this for 2 months now. 2 months as of yesterday, and he's been really going for it. He's been doing 2 hours a day every day. He has not missed a day yet. He had he had a stroke in March of 2019, and he has right side hemiparesis. So he has a little bit of use of his leg, but not the right arm, nothing. Nothing. Can't move hand, wrist, fingers, anything. So but I will say, this has really helped him as far as his tone. I heard Maddie talking earlier. She was saying she had Botox injectors. He just had his today, his third round.
Okay.
And when he went today, normally he's very it has a lot of spasticity. He was very limber still because of this machine. I really believe it helped him a lot, because he was still very limber, as if he didn't even need the shots almost. It's like that's where he was.
That's great. Again, not to say that we want to deviate.
But we're encouraged, because his main thing was like when he wants to know when he's going to see some. And I'm like, well, we can just, because it's only been 2 months. I'm thinking maybe another, it might take a little long, another month or so, or he just wants to see something and have some hope. So.
Sure, yeah, no. I think first of all, am I speaking with Cheryl right now?
Yes, I'm sorry. Here I am.
That's okay, Cheryl.
I'm staying out of the camera because.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's all good. I think first of all, Michael, great to meet you. Michael, are you able to hear me and understand me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So I just want to make sure that if I need to change my communication strategy, I'm happy to do that. Just want to try to accommodate you.
Oh no, he can understand you just fine.
Okay, very good. No, it's just good. I know it's June is Aphasia Awareness Month, and so I'm just trying to be extra cognizant of that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so I think the honest answer, guys, is, and I wish I had a better answer. And when many people ask me this question, and they ask me to pull out my crystal ball and make a prediction about something, and the honest thing is, it's really hard for me to do this.
Right.
Not because I don't want to do it. I would very much like to do this, but the science, I always will defend myself with science. I'll always go back and sort of rest on the science. And it's just very, very hard to make these types of predictions. Because fundamentally, science tells us about the average case, right? It tells us about what happens on average. And and of course, so many things about you, Michael, are different than me, or different than Maddie. So there's many factors that can contribute to sort of the rate of change of improvements, as well as the magnitude of improvements. And so what I always like to tell people is, even though my crystal ball is a little bit foggy, and the truth is it is quite foggy, what we can do is we can actually take what we know that actually improves your outcome, and we can optimize those various factors. I think of it like a big equation, and there's a lot of unknowns in that equation, but there's some things that we know that are really important, like making sure you're doing the rehab, which you're doing. And I'm really grateful that you're doing that. That's awesome. It's a big achievement. The other thing is making sure it's good quality, right? Just, you can put the robot on, you can put the Motus hand on and have it just move you willy-nilly, right? For all the hours of the day. But that's going to be very much less effective than if you were to spend an hour a day being very cognizant of actually doing the movements and being very, very engaged in it. Right. So that's something I'm going to challenge you on, Michael. Are you being engaged in the activities? And are you sort of, when you're doing the movements with the Motus hand, when it's helping you, are you really thinking about actually doing the motions yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And actually, one thing that I will, I'll just bring up, and you guys may be doing this right now, but I'll bring it up because it's good to remind ourselves. If you're in the category where you're having a lot of trouble, if you have sort of on the lower side, sort of maybe little to no active movement, that's totally fine. But if you're in that camp, one thing I'll ask you to do, Michael, is to bring in both sides, to do some mirroring. This is something I've recommended a lot. And when we think about ourselves kind of as biologic creatures, we do a lot of things bimanually, right? You guys can see this right now. I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm gesticulating with both my hands.
Yeah.
This is sort of just ingrained in our neurophysiology. And so one thing that you guys can do, Michael, is when you have the Motus hand on one of your arms, you can use your other hand that's not in it to mirror. So as you're doing the exercises, you can have the Motus hand help you go through those movements, and you can be simultaneously going with your less affected limb, mirroring that. And that will help to really sort of activate things in a much more realistic way. Yeah,
well,
these
bimanual.
Yeah, the bimanual tasks, really, really cool. So bi meaning two and manual hands. So we can use bimanual approaches, which will help to kind of increase that activation. That could be a nice way to kind of improve things. It's just sort of a version of doing mirror therapy, if you've heard of that term, because mirror therapy is a way of kind of tricking your brain that you're getting the movement, but in this case you're actually doing the movement, right? Because the Motus hand is moving you, but you're able to actually do the mirroring in real time because you have some help. So that would be maybe just a recommendation you guys could try going forward.
That's a great idea. I'm excited about it because I bought him a mirror box, but of course he wouldn't use it because that was boring. He wouldn't do it. But he loves this thing, so I think he'll do it with this.
Let's do this, guys. Let's give it a try, and then maybe in a week or so you guys can come back on and we can chat about it, how the experience is going.
Okay, we can do that.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. And Michael, do you have any more questions for me? I know you had a really good one, and I hope I was able to answer it. And if not, I'm happy to double down and try to get a better answer for you.
No, he's happy. That's all he wanted to know.
Okay,
and he
sure.
just gave him a new suggestion, so he's gonna try. He's gonna, as soon as this meeting is over, he's gonna be on this working, doing what he needs to do.
Okay, very good, excellent. So it was a pleasure to meet you guys. I'm Cheryl Michael, and I look forward to chat with you guys very soon. Hopefully, you'll have some fun with that new strategy.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent, very good.